Welcome to another Friday episode of Hold the Mic, where facts matter more than feelings. Do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Hold the Mic. We are your hosts. I'm Ryan Shead. That's Ian Sherman. Brother, how are you doing?
What up, Doe? How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing all right, man. Ready for these Lions to start putting on the hurt.
And let's go, man. I'm loving
Ready.
the bye week. Everybody, what I love is seeing all of the coaches and like them just living their personal lives, going to a Detroit Pistons game and everybody at the arena losing their mind, just giving their props. It's so lovely. So lovely. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yeah, I love that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh,
yeah, happy Friday. It's been an interesting day for sure. We have a lot to go through. I know we're going to focus a lot on Trump, of course. He's created quite the job security for us for the next 2 to 4 years. So, but before we get started, I just wanted to send our thoughts and prayers out to everybody in California.
Yes,
it's particularly distressing to find out that at least one of these fires was started, arson wise. So
arsonist that was caught.
Yeah,
there's a couple of pockets that some people are saying like completely away from the rest of all of it, and they're like, "What is this person doing?" I have a couple of close family members out there, friends, people that are just that's my circle, and I just did a wellness check, and they were like, "Yo, thank you for thinking of us," and I'm like, "Please, your family, like, of course, it's my people," but it's like to everybody out in LA, man, like this is just horrible. I don't care. I don't care where you sit on the political spectrum. That even, Woods, we were talking about that in the green room, but it's like wherever you sit, nobody needs to lose their entire life savings, what they put into that house. There was a woman named Fran. Her story is tragic. Her just looking at their entire existence, being her neighbors. She was giving life stories of who her across the neighbor was, the husband that his wife just passed away and he has cancer and he just lost his house. It's like these people are losing everything.
Yeah.
Everything. So our heart goes out to California right now. You guys definitely. And look who's stepping up. Mexico and Canada.
Yeah. Thank you for sending firefighters. Mexico was 100. They sent 100 of their like elite firefighters. And I didn't see how many Canada sent, but they've been sending anything's better than nothing.
The planes picking up the water and dumping the water everywhere.
Nice.
They've been doing a lot. So it's been there. So
and it's just nice to see, especially in times like this where, I know we have, at least on this show, there's so much up in the air. We don't know how international relations are going to continue, especially with our neighbors to the north and south. So, to see this happen right now, it actually was a little reassuring. Of course you don't want to see it happening because it looks like freaking Armageddon, but
it goes to show you, Sleepy Joe. He built some strong relationships with some people, and that these people are still here for 12 more days. And they're like, look, we got Joe's back. Like, let's go, whatever we need to do. And Joe was there. Joe was talking to Newsom. He said, whatever you need, I got you. Just from a text, whatever you need, I'm here.
And I think it's also worth noting that the California Insurance Commissioner has issued a 1-year moratorium to protect Southern California homeowners. And what that means is that the insurance companies will not be able to cancel or issue non-renewals in those areas for the next year. So what that means is everybody that's being affected right now is going to be taken care of. As long as they had insurance and, all that stuff, of course.
But what that means is put away your pew-pews, okay? Because we're going to try to work with you. That's what that means.
Well, I mean,
no Luigi's here from a fire situation is all I think you.
Again, I don't know. Of course, I hate seeing anybody lose their house, but I do have a hard time having much empathy for MAGA people like James Woods.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the people who lost their home.
I'm just saying for me, I just have to clarify for me because I've already posted online.
You taking shots?
I sent some over the bow, so Woods, I can't back off now.
as much trash as he's talked about, the liberals.
I posted I posted what he said, and I'm like, this is why I refuse to. To have empathy for these people, because they don't have empathy for others.
No,
they don't help others when the time's in need, and they only help their side. I'm not helping the libs. It's like, So
Let me
why?
ask you
What?
this. Is
Go
this
ahead.
the catalyst that builds that empathy that they need? Because to me, it's always been once they are affected, once it hits them at their pocket, their home, that's when they finally
No, you
can
see their
see it. Because
responses.
no, but you see Woods over here on news, over here crying, like, looking like a welfare queen, but
Yeah.
that's not the case. Now,
Actually, I said he'll be begging for FEMA money in 3, 2. I know I'm an asshole.
but it's only at that moment can they then, and I'm not saying that the following, 24 or 48 hours later, they don't go back to their own bullshit, but it's in
Yeah.
that moment that they then finally have empathy because they need the help. So,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
look,
I, unfortunately, I don't think these people are really capable of that. I wish. I, I just don't have any faith in people. I don't have faith in public responsibility right now. Um,
you got a hit list for like 80, 77, 78 million people.
bro, I mean, I'm just glad that the camera's facing this way and you can't see the whiteboard over there.
Yo,
Um, but no, all jokes aside, it's just it, I've reached a point where it's very clear to me that Americans respond to emotions. They don't respond to facts. They don't
yeah,
respond to
yeah,
court documents. They
no,
don't even respond to if it's their kid in a, God forbid, in a school pew pew. Like they still don't get it. They still don't want to work on, serious gun legislation. Their idea is let's put more security in the schools. It's like,
yeah.
really? Is introducing more firearms to the equation really the best idea here?
Well, I was going to say to you, and let me know if there's any teachers in the group chat. The reading level of America is like around sixth grade. It's something
I
tragically
was I
low,
was kind of shocked
tragically
yeah, it
low.
was between
So,
6th
so
and 7th grade, I think.
you talk about a court document, like, man, can they just read, green eggs and ham? Let's go. Like, come on. Come on. Why do you think, Schoolhouse Rock was necessary? You got to do a song and dance for somebody to digest some actual understanding of how a system works. And most of these people who are running things, they don't even know how it works.
Oh,
Look at
for
Margaret
sure.
Taylor Greene. She has no idea how this works.
No.
Trying to
One of
pass a
my
bill about the Gulf of America. Get out of here. Come on.
one of my favorite videos recently was Obama talking about, like world leaders and just leaders in business and whatever. Like, a lot of these people, when you sit down with them in a room, you realize they're not that smart. They're not
No.
that, they're not these brilliant people that you would think, these world leaders would be. He's like, some of them are, some of them are exactly
Right.
what you'd expect.
Right.
And then there's others that it's just kind of like, yeah, no. And
No.
and to me, I just got to bring up Obama talking to Trump at Carter's funeral. I
He's
believe
good
it.
with babies, isn't he? Like all his photos.
You beat me
He's just
to it.
he's just
You beat me to it.
he's the man who kisses the baby. You know what I'm saying? They this is the guy you want. This is daddy daycare. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my
That's all I'm
God.
saying.
Uh,
It's like-
and a shout out to everybody on TikTok. It's our first time streaming the
Yo.
show on TikTok.
What up,
Um,
everybody? And
so
maybe our last. Who knows? Who knows in a couple of weeks?
if
Who
we keep it
knows?
up, yeah. Um,
It's been fun.
it has been fun, but we'll see. So with that, I just wanted to put an exclamation point on the California wildfires and just say, please stay safe. Remember, houses, cars, all that shit, it can be replaced. I know photos and some other things can't, but it's more important that you guys walk away with your lives than a car or whatever. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, just please stay safe out there. I'm glad to see the government, both state and federal, are stepping up to provide resources for everybody, and make sure that insurance companies aren't going to be able to screw you guys over. Hopefully they don't find a way to stretch it a year and then, but it's just nice to
Man,
see that they're trying to do something. Everybody's actively working the problem. We're getting resources from other countries.
that's right.
So yeah, let's focus on that. Praise everybody that's involved. Like you said, at the end of the day, it really is an event that we should set aside the politics for a minute and just make sure everybody's taken care of. And with that, I wanted to pivot on to the Supreme Court hearing on TikTok right now. So that's what Ian meant when we don't know how long we'll be on TikTok, because they may be leaving on the 19th. So what do you think of that, bro?
Man. I mean, I find it interesting, and I said this in the last episode for our special, that Trump, his stay that he put in place was um more pinpointed and really precise. Like, he was fighting for TikTok better than he was fighting for himself. And that
Yep.
just went to show you the money behind what he was trying to do. And that's because he's already in bed with some of these companies who are ByteDance, SoftBank, all these people who are the money.
Yep.
And so they just said, and it's funny, it's not hard to follow the trail of crumbs, but
Mm-hmm.
but immediately, day one, oh, okay, 100 billion invested in America. And then within 48 hours, Trump saying, I like
Yeah.
TikTok. And it's like, okay, well, there you have it.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. It's all it takes, guys. He is bought and sold easy if
Yeah.
you are doing your thing. Um, and to add to that, which I know we haven't talked about yet, uh, with what Trump is trying to put towards that, he's also trying to get his property back in DC, the International Trump Hotel in DC, which is where he was laundering so much money from
Yeah.
his last presidency. So
And siphoning it through the Secret Service into
Secret
his
Service,
bank
and also
accounts.
all the dignitaries, all the world leaders, everybody who would stay there as paying favor to Lord Trump, Lady Trump, whatever you want to go by.
I like that.
But with that, I just find it interesting that he's on the phone with Alito. The way that things played out with Supreme Court, and would they block the stay
Mm-hmm.
for his conviction, and also with TikTok. It's like, why do you have a direct contact with the Supreme Court? The whole separation aspect is like just completely thrown out the
Yeah,
window.
it's not even there.
And I don't even care if you're talking about someone getting a job. Like, okay, all you have to do is that could be an email. Hey, I have somebody to please look into. That's it. I don't need to have a conversation with you. I don't personally call people, and I'm not even that big of a potato. Like, let's be serious. You know what I mean?
It's like, yeah, we're pretty low on the scale here.
I'm saying, hey, I got somebody who want a job at McDonald's. All right, let me write an email. Like, boom. Like, that's it. I'm not calling somebody, talking about, hey, man, can we talk about some things real quick?
Yeah.
So, I wonder what's going to happen to bring this full circle. TikTok, you got me into the app. I've never really participated, not through the pandemic, not anything.
Yeah.
I just got on it and I fell in love with it. I get it. I do understand the addiction of it too.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of stuff.
the 30 messages in my DM box tell me that.
It's because you don't pay attention to me, Ryan. I need your attention. All right.
I told you. I already told you.
Jen knows about
Jen
us.
said Jen said I had to cut the time down. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, tell Jen I picked up the mic. All right.
She'll throw that bitch at you. That's the problem.
She will. I'm out.
Keep dropping, you guys.
Keep dropping, you guys. Keep dropping more episodes. Keep dropping the mic.
Is the broadcast okay? Because the smoke in the background, by the way, Tavi, the California wildfires are not the reason for the smoke in the backdrop. That would be
it's a horrible.
Yeah, I'm not that dark. Like, I'm dark, but I'm not that dark. But no, we're just toying with backgrounds and differences. So if it is making it choppy, let me know and I'll turn it off. But we're just trying to jazz up the broadcast a little bit.
We're having fun on our Friday.
Yeah.
But no, with TikTok, let's see what happens. I could totally see them play hardball where they're like, okay, we'll take away this. You know how many addicts you have in America who want this app? So let's see how long this lasts for, because I don't see them creating another app that's going to do it like how Blue Sky could be the substitute for Twitter /X,
I'm on Blue Sky, and by the way, thank you to everybody. I have like 30,000 followers there, and I thank you. I definitely don't spend the kind of time there I do on my other ones, and I need to start. But there's reasons. Like Blue Sky, it's a great concept, and I love the look of it, and I do like how it works. But you can't post anything over 60 seconds on video wise and content wise. And for me, I very rarely post anything under a minute or even at a minute. So,
have you seen a Ryan rant?
Yeah, they tend to go. But no, so it's also a pay thing. So on TikTok, you don't get paid for any video that's a minute or less.
Okay.
So, I always try to make them like a minute and 7, minute and 10, give myself 3 seconds, 4 seconds, because I go in and edit. So you end up cutting time down, doing every clip. So yeah, I've just learned how to do all that. But so that's frustrating me because it means all the things that I'm working on that I can put on every other platform, I can't put on that one.
Right.
So it's just a little frustrating. Not yet. Exactly. And
So,
totally acknowledge that it's still a new platform. They're still, bringing it up to speed.
right.
And I look forward to them doing that. But I also want to remind everybody too, the problem is, sorry, I read something and I do disco lights in the background.
Squirrel.
Yeah. Only for phones. It is not visually iPad friendly. Oh, okay. Good to know. Thanks, guys.
Oh, that visual in the background?
No, that's actually really good feedback. Thank you.
It's really good.
Yep.
Jellywood.
I'll find something else, like an actual, we'll do a graphic. Anyway, moving on. What was I saying?
You were talking about
Sorry, that was good feedback.
No, it was, but you're just like squirrel. It's like you were gone. No, with the whole thing with Blue Sky and the fact that it's not there yet, you can post everything to all your platforms. But here we are,
Yeah, Blue Sky. So yeah, it'll be good. Now I will say that I'm not one of those people that wants to run from all the platforms.
Right.
Like for instance, Blue Sky it's not the main guy, but it's the original Twitter guy is behind Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Jack Dorsey. Like Jack Dorsey. It's like he already sold us out once. You know what I mean? So I
mean, 44 billion. He sold it to an idiot.
Well, yes. I mean, the board did that, but he was one of the people that pushed it and said he trusted Elon, his vision, blah, blah, blah. And it's like his vision to steal the election.
Bank account is what he trusted.
Exactly.
He said,
so yes. I don't. So everybody's like, oh, Blue Sky's great. It's like, as long as Jack Dorsey's involved with it.
Well, here's the way I see it. Jack Dorsey was like, I made Twitter. I can make another Twitter. Like, I'm not worried about it. Go ahead, sell this shit off. Let's go make another one. Let him ruin this. And quickly he did. Thanks to the HB1 visas, where he said, I'm going to fire everybody, but I'm going to keep these people here because I'm going to hold them ransom. I was listening to another podcast, won't say name, and it was just talking about the fact of like the HB1 visa, and they're like, well, it's not like you're a slave. No, you could leave the job. No one's saying you have to stay. They're like, yeah, but the whole point of the job is that you can then stay in America with that job. So if you lose that job, you lose that visa, i.e. go back wherever you came from. And that's the whole point. They don't want to go back to where they came from. They got here. What did it take for them to get here? They're not willing to just give it up because, they hate their job or they hate their boss. And that's the power struggle that we're talking about here. They have all this power over somebody who's just trying to make a better life for themselves or their families.
Yeah.
So yes, it is indentured servitude. If you think about it, there's this carrot dangled over their head every single day that they clock in.
Yeah.
So
you're absolutely right.
There's no way around it. But yes, Blue Sky, I'm just checking it out right now. But here's a question: what would be the substitute or the stand-in, the replacement for TikTok?
Does it exist? In terms of engagement, I would say Threads. I get a decent amount of engagement on Threads.
But it has the same capacity to do everything as TikTok? The lives,
I don't think it does the lives yet, but I can put clips up more than a minute. It does more character counts than Blue Sky.
Right.
So you don't have to pay for it to post longer. But it's not much longer.
Right.
But yeah,
Blue Sky's in its infancy. It's just getting jump started. It's clearly taking off. And there's a mass exodus of X. So it is.
Well, there's a max exodus of X. There's a max exodus of Threads. There's a max exodus of Facebook.
Threads too? They're leaving Threads? Is that tied to
Threads is Instagram. Threads is Meta.
It's all tied to Meta.
It's all Meta. Instagram, Threads. That's why I keep I'm asking folks, I'm like, where are we going to go? Like, if we leave everything that Mark Zuckerberg owns and everything that Musk owns and they take TikTok away, where are liberals going to go to fight this fight?
I see. This is what I like about you and I, because we think differently. I'm like, okay, take away their pocketbook, hit them. If they have no account, if they have nothing, that is 44 billion that Elon Musk wasted, just burned. Which I get it. He can burn that. He can burn 44 billion. But if you're starting something new and you're tying yourself to it, and then you're starting that and carving out a lane for yourself there, because keep in mind, just like all my conservative friends, they want my attention.
Mhm.
They're gonna go wherever you go. It's
Yeah.
not about, fighting the good fight wherever it is. X is a cesspool. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about that.
Mhm. I stay there for the elected officials and Elon Musk. I don't really engage many of the right-wing accounts
But for how
anymore.
long? For how long? Are the
For the
elected
next 4
officials gonna
years.
be there? Because aren't even actual, like, actual organizations pulling news and everything else, aren't they leaving
Not
it?
anymore. See, here's the issue. Like, just like you're seeing Elon Musk, and I forget who said it. I don't want to take credit for this analogy. It's on my Twitter. I reshared it, so the account is on my Twitter. But the account said that basically Trump winning allowed Zuckerberg to remove his mask and show us all who he really is. Today he's getting rid of DEI
Yeah.
policies.
Pull up that photo. Pull up that photo.
Do I have it?
You have the photo, you showed it. The Trinity.
Oh, this one?
Right there.
Yep.
They all three showed us who they were. You got Bezos right there on his knees with that tongue out when he did not with the Washington Post do what they've done for a long time. Well, my friend, democracy has died. You have Musk over here who's spent definitely more than 250 million, especially with his little fake ass lottery right here, who bought the country for 250. And then you got Zuckerberg right here, who's been on those knees for a long time, and right now he looks like he's selling fentanyl with that weak ass look that he had, man, that fake little bushy hair that he has with that weak little chain. I'm sorry. I'm gonna roast all three of these idiots for the next 4 years, but they definitely have showed you who they are.
Yeah. Um, Money is king, and if they interpret the economy to be doing well, or if they think the economy will do well under said person, they will overlook just about anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the realization I'm coming to. So it's kind of like everybody that wants to play, above board, and they want to, be the good guys. It's like, we can't.
No.
It's what I need people to understand. I really need people to start looking at this from a soldier war mindset. And what I mean by that is, when you go into the military, you realize that Zuck is on WWE Raw right now. Oh, fuck, of course he is. I mean, they sold to Saudi
No, he's not.
Arabia though.
He is WWE. He's saying he is.
Oh,
like that's his
I
level.
thought he was on. Oh
Zuck
yeah, Raw's
is
on
WWE
Monday.
Raw now.
Yeah, it's SmackDown's tonight.
Man, this is a Friday show, bro. This is a Friday show.
Sorry,
right?
days are messed up. But no, it's just really interesting to see what's happening right now. And
And Brian said Illuminati.
Illuminati.
What up, B? What up, man? No, it's listen to people who, when they tell you who they are. It's a very simple lesson to learn. It's hard for some people to take it in, but listen to people when they tell you who they are.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
Yep.
The moment that the Washington Post did not pick a president, I said, "Oh wow, they are leaning towards Trump and they want a favor." And here we go.
And by the way, over 100, it might have been 200 employees are losing their job at the Washington Post. So the richest, or one of the richest men in the world, can't provide a couple hundred jobs to keep the Washington Post running. So they're going to shut a lot of stuff down.
There's talks of people who are high up there in the news world who want to make a collective and make a purchase of the Washington Post. And their idea is they want to give Bezos some type of cover where then he could say he's removed himself from the paper, even though he's funding it still or doing something. They're trying to figure out how they can, Kara Swisher. She's one of the main people. She's trying to take a lead where she makes a purchase of Washington Post with a handful of people. So who knows? Who knows what might happen with that paper?
Yeah, but I think he's evil and he wants to maintain the control over it.
He's Scrooge McDuck, man. They all want power. They all want power. And the fact that you can buy a president for $250, right out.
Speaking of presidents, let's move on to the other breaking news today, which was the Trump sentencing, if you can call it that. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go first.
All right. Because I feel in my bones a Ryan rant coming. That's all I gotta say to you. The Judge Marchand, I think, was put in a position where I want to say, first and foremost, this man was calm, cool, and collected the entire time, and he never broke it for anybody. He was attacked personally. His family was attacked, all verbally, and I'm sure the death threats have definitely flooded the doors, both at his office and his house. Good thing he's here in New York, where there is a lot of protection, not for CEOs of insurance, but there's a lot of protection for judges. What I would say is that I think he was fair. I think the fact that I wrote this to you, and I really wanted to actually touch on this. What Trump was convicted of is a Class E felony offense. It's eligible of penalty up to 4 years in prison and several $1,000s per count. That's 34 counts. Do the math. Trump got a slap on the wrist with his conviction being that it's a stain on his brand. It's a stain on his name. And if it is not overturned, he will die a convicted felon. And one thing that I think that they have to figure out right now logistically is that being a convicted felon, in Florida, he cannot vote by their laws, which we know that the governor will probably give him some clemency and pardon that and get rid of it. Not pardon him from the conviction, but just give him the green light to vote again. And also, and this is going to be my question moving forward, what kind of stress does this put on his presidency to travel internationally where they do not allow felons in their country?
They'll let him in.
I'm just saying, these are the laws that are there, and this is the
laws
part
don't
where
apply to this dude.
Laws do not apply, and this is the part where if it was you or me or any of our lovable tribe that we have, we'd be in jail. We would be facing this Class E felony, and this would be it. But sure, because he is, he got to find 77 million idiots to back him, who think eggs and gas is going to go down. They have something coming because the price of Greenland is a lot more expensive than eggs and gas. So we're about to find out. We're in the find out phase.
By the way, I love the trolling coming from Canada and Mexico right now. We deserve it.
Oh my God. And the whole world is literally laughing at this man opening his mouth.
Yep.
And the stunt he pulled in Denmark, I was talking to my sister Ida about this. The stunt he pulled in Denmark, being his son, Junior, brought a convicted felon with him. They were handing out mega hats, and they were offering free lunch to all these people who were homeless.
That was fake.
Or what was fake?
I believe somebody sent me that was staged.
The event was
Denmark, staged. The Denmark thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they found everything was staged. Yes. So Junior staged it, and they were offering, because all this is coming out now.
Danish media reported Thursday that a series of photos featuring Kirk and Greenlandic residents in MAGA hats was staged. Yep. The MAGA cohort reportedly rounded up homeless people from the area, including one person from under a bridge, promising them a meal at the hotel Hans Igede in exchange for their participation in the pro-Trump photo circuit.
That's right. And they were handing out hats. Yep. And that sums up what we can expect for the next 4 years.
Cult tactics, baby. Cult tactics.
Yes. They are master manipulators, and I want everybody to be ready, be on the lookout, and be diligent, because it's going to be a lot of bullshit that comes our way.
Yep. Yeah, I wish I could disagree. I'm lost. What did you say that we would disagree with on this?
So what we're disagreeing with is that I find it to be fair for right now, because you can't have somebody running a country from a jail cell. And here's what I was going to say to you. The one thing I think that we have skated over is that Judge Marchand's sentence, regardless of no prison time or no penalty, it does say if you do break the law, you will be seeing some prison time. So here's the question from the man who's a crook. This is going to be now over his head for the next 4 years alone. 4 years. And on top of that, when he gets out, if he does break any laws, I don't know if there is anything that has a a time frame that, okay, you can break laws now. I don't know how this actually sits. But if he does break a law, what's stopping this from kicking in and then him going to jail?
I really don't care. He'll be 82, 83 at that point.
They locked up Bill Cosby. They locked up, all these other.
And then they let him out.
You have a point. You have a point.
I mean,
but he was never going to see jail. He was going to be house arrest. That was going to be his prison sentence.
Probably. Here's the thing. It should have been done to show the American people that the law applies to everybody equally.
Yeah.
Period. That the message that was sent out is that if you are high enough in this country, or enough people in this country are invested in you financially, that you can get away with pretty much anything. Like, let's not act like this guy broke the law one time and everybody's trying to fry him for it. No. This guy has broken the law like countless times. I've mentioned 10 different fraud times on here repeatedly. So,
and here's my question to you.
Yeah.
Would there be a different outcome if he was found guilty before the election? If they said, you know what, we're not going to give him prison sentence or anything. What is the proper term that they said? It is unconditional discharge. If they said it's going to be unconditional discharge, but we find you guilty, or there'll be a fee, but we find you guilty of 34 felons, and the election is to be held in a month or so. Do you think it's a different outcome?
No.
Because Judge Marchand postponed it to allow the election.
Well, I didn't like that.
I know you didn't.
And I still think that the voters should have known the outcome of these elections and the sentences.
People even said if he's found convicted they would think differently of him.
The problem is I don't really believe any of them. The things that they know, and that they, the fact that to them that would be the final straw is a joke.
Right.
Because he's an adjudicated abuser. I'm not going to say the R word because of TikTok, but, at the end of the day, that's what he is. And they know it, and they excuse it, whether it's by saying it was not in a criminal court, it was just in a civil court. The 13-year-old girl is lying. The statute of limitations is over. They had to change the laws to go after whatever excuse they use.
Right.
They find ways to justify it all in their head. And like I said, if they think that him being in charge is going to be good for them, the reality is 77 plus million Americans really don't care if he abuses kids. Like, they're fine with that.
77 million people probably aren't even tuning into what he wrote in Time about how he's not going to do anything for groceries, or you can't really do anything about that. Lowering inflation's a little hard. Okay, well, look, I'm keeping receipts. You said that you're ending wars on day one. You're going to lower the price of everything. You're lowering the price of gas. I am holding receipts, and I am going to be that stubborn person throughout the entire 4 years, constantly bringing it back up.
Let's talk about receipts for a second. We have put together a list of campaign promises, not just from 2024, but we've got a list from 2020 and we've got a list from 2016. So let's go through this list. And
it's like a CVS receipt.
It's a page and a half long. So we're going to go through this, and I really want you all to hear some of this, right? Lie, evade, repeat. Ain't that the truth? Liberals are making it all up. Exactly. They're just like, oh, the liberals are all coming after him. It's like, no. And more importantly, when something happens on our side, we actually hold people accountable. Like, we run them out of office.
Al Franken.
You know what I mean? Like, so
he didn't even really do anything.
And that argument doesn't make sense. Like, no, we hold people accountable. If you're a child, whatever.
Do you see anybody protecting Bob Mendez right now with them gold bars?
Nope. Get him. Get him and
Like,
his gold
like,
bars.
did you see how hard they were fighting for Matt Gaetz? Did you see how hard they were fighting for
Bro.
George Santos? Like, come on, or whatever his name is. You know what I'm saying? Like, why y'all protecting?
And then you
But
want
I do want Marge to come with her receipts. I want her to put cases on every single one of them, boy. She sounded like the end of trading day. I'm gonna put cases on every
all
single.
you.
What are you? Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So let's look at some of the things he said that he was going to do, and then just keep in mind what he actually did accomplish over some of these time. So Donald Trump's campaign promises varied across his two presidential campaigns in 2016 and 2020. Here's a summary of some key promises he made. So starting with 2016, let's start with immigration. He said that they'd build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border and Mexico would pay for it, that they would end sanctuary cities, that they would implement extreme vetting for immigrants from certain countries, suspend immigration from countries with high levels of terrorism. So I guess H-1B visas is totally fine. Economy and trade, renegotiate or withdraw from trade agreements like NAFTA, impose tariffs on companies that move jobs overseas, cut taxes for individuals and businesses. They did it for businesses, but not individuals. Bring back manufacturing jobs to the U.S.
Yeah, what was it? Infrastructure Week.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Sure.
And the tariffs on companies, again, when we're talking about tariffs, I want everybody to remember, even products that say made in America contain materials from other countries.
That's right.
And if they have to pay more for those materials, when they sit down and they factor out their income or their profit ratios, they're going to increase the prices and they're going to move that cost onto consumers on a per unit basis. So
all I got to say is show me a mega hat that was made in America.
Yeah, good luck. So I just wish people, like, there are some good tariffs. Yes. But there's a point where if you start abusing them, you're going to destroy our trade relationships with other countries. And as much as MAGA and Trump people want to think that we can just seal off the border, along the whole country and just self-contain, we can't. Right. We just can't. So we need to realize that we are a global economy and we need to play our part. And we can't sit here like the bullies at the lunch table, constantly beating our allies and even our enemies over the head with these tariffs, saying, if you don't give us everything,
you said our enemies? Try Mexico.
I said
guac is going
I said
up.
Allies and enemies.
The part where it's funny to me is the enemy aspect, because it's like, let alone enemy, but just our allies. Like Mexico and Canada do so much. Even just think about what your father was going through with having cars built, the parts what it takes to build a car itself alone.
Yeah.
But this is going to be, the price of everything is going up.
Jolly One has a good one here. Media did not show his Twitter and Truth Social posts, so they do not know what he is saying. When I show my MAGA parents their first question, why are they not showing this on the news? I'm like, because Oompa Loompa owns Fox News. I mean, exactly. And I think that's why, like, I'm pulling my hair out, because I do this every day. Like, I see what he posts every day. So it's kind of like, wow. But again, my issue is that even when we take those screenshots and try to post them and spread it and send it to people, I would say 8 times out of 10, they're like, oh, that's either it's AI, it's photoshopped, or I don't care. Yeah. Like that's literally
I don't care.
So yeah, I don't know. Somebody on TikTok said he's incapable of not being unlawful. Yeah, he just breaks the laws like it's going out of style. Yeah, well, and that's another thing somebody said. He's convicted, but still able to uphold the title and run the country. So frustrating. That's another thing. We need to remove the question on all job applications of, are you a felon?
Facts.
Because if you can be a felon and run the country, then you can be a felon and do any other fucking job in this place.
Yeah. That's one thing that this does show, is Absolutely. That we have to make some changes now.
Yep. if you're going to let a felon run the country, then we need to stop punishing felons the way we do.
Yeah. And I hope that he becomes an inspiration for all those in prison. I really do. It's a positive, the silver lining.
Yeah.
It's like, while they're in their jail cell, maybe Diddy can get out and he can run for president, maybe, just maybe.
Hey man, Kwame Kilpatrick's getting back into politics. Nothing's impossible, baby.
To Kwame, to Kwame.
So number 3, and if you don't know who Kwame Kilpatrick is, he was a mayor of the great city of Detroit, and he ended up being a complete. Yeah, he was not a good person.
Dot. You just go look it up.
2016 campaign promise number 3, healthcare, said that he would repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act.
Concepts of a plan. Still working on it.
Tried twice, failed twice.
Batting for third.
Batting.
Let's see what happens.
Allow health insurance to be sold across state lines. So again, I don't think they've done anything to make health insurance better for us. It's only gotten worse. So that's something that that should be one of the most bipartisan, nonpartisan things on this planet is healthcare. Like, it affects all of us. I want your kid to have healthcare. I don't mind paying a few extra dollars in my taxes to make sure that your family has healthcare. And in return, it would be nice if you said, you know what, I don't mind paying a few extra bucks to make sure your family has healthcare.
Right.
And if everybody would do that, have a little, what's that word they like to use? Oh, public responsibility. We may actually be able to fund these type of programs instead of pointing the finger at everybody and saying we can't afford to take care of anybody. And oh, by the way, we're going to charge you $1,500 a month to cover your family with just in case. And then when you get hurt, you're going to have to pay another $3,000 to $6,000 out of pocket before they even start covering you. So when you look at all of that by itself is bankrupting families.
Yeah.
It's literally bankrupting families. So just imagine if people didn't have to pay for their health care the way that they do. And I'm not even saying make it free. Shit, make it so nobody has to spend more than $500 out of pocket a year. Something like it can be done. Other countries do it. The great country of America can do it too.
Countries in our position
do
it. And it's wild that we are at the bottom of the barrel.
Yep, absolutely. Wild. So number 4 in 2016 was national security. He said that they would defeat ISIS and strengthen the U.S. military. And if I remember correctly, he did not strengthen the U.S. military, actually weakened us quite a bit.
Didn't ISIS just visit Bourbon Street just a couple weeks ago?
Didn't he invite them to Camp David? Wasn't it ISIS?
And he let out.
The Taliban.
He let out their cousins, the Taliban.
Yeah, 5, he let out 5,000 people, and by the way, one of them ended up being the leader of the Taliban.
Yeah, so that took over and betrayed
Afghanistan.
Yeah,
and then ended up being a part of the 13 soldiers that lost their lives. But yeah, please let's keep ignoring facts.
But what about Hunter Biden?
Yeah, Hunter. How about the felon you voted for? Temporarily ban Muslims from entering the United States. They did do that. Increase funding for the Department of Veteran Affairs.
Wait. Repeat what he did. What did he do? He banned who?
The Muslims.
The same people who voted for him this last time?
Yeah.
All their cousins?
Hey.
They did. Man, they got a short memory. Okay.
Yep. A lot of people have short memories.
Okay.
Increased funding for the Department of Veteran Affairs. I don't know if they did that because if I remember correctly, when it came time for funding and providing healthcare to my fellow brothers and sisters who were exposed to burn pits, I remember all Republicans voting against that, including Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene, who like to use soldiers all the time and talk about how great and patriotic they are. But when it comes time to taking care of said soldiers, we don't have the money.
They're only here for the photo op, my man.
Always.
For the fine print.
Number 5 was judiciary, appoint conservative judges to the Supreme Court and federal. They definitely did that.
Yep.
Corruption and government reform. I'm sorry. Just hearing Trump talk about that is funny. He said, drain the swamp by reducing corruption.
This is all 2016.
That's like having the police investigate themselves.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna need you to turn the camera off. It's like being the police.
Oh yeah, cover the body cam. Drain the swamp. Reducing corruption. Impose term limits on members of Congress. Yeah, they're not going to do that. Ban
But I would be down for
officials.
that. Which
Ban
they would.
officials from becoming lobbyists after leaving office. I'd actually support that one.
Yeah.
I'd support that one. And I would applaud him if he got that done.
But again, these were campaign promises that he never got to.
But so my thing is, like, you think these people are going to, like, you think Donald Trump, the grifter in chief, is going to ban lobbying?
Bro.
Come on.
It's a front desk clerk.
Come on.
Meet you in the lobby.
Number 7 in 2016 was energy and environment. Expand fossil fuel production, including coal, oil, and natural gas. Withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement. Morons.
Didn't Biden do more drilling than Trump?
I think it was he released more oil, more drilling rights. I think it was. I could be wrong. Correct us in the
production. Oil production is at max capacity, and he has done more than Trump.
We've exported more oil under Biden than we did under Trump. Yeah. Google it, folks. Eliminate the Environmental Protection Agency's regulation on businesses.
I love how bored you look looking at his campaign promises.
Bro, can we just talk about eliminating the EPA?
Like, hey, man,
how many forever chemicals are in our drinking water?
Yeah.
How many military bases have people been exposed to Agent Orange chemicals?
Oh yeah. How much plastic is in your body,
bro? How many like paint people that create paint and all those type of things? Where do they put all their waste?
You know, I think asbestos should make a comeback.
Bro, it's like, let's bring back polio and lead paint. Like,
polio and lead paint for everybody.
I want to see people in iron lungs and you know, developing weird teeth, black teeth.
We want black lung. That's what
we want.
Baby.
Black lung. Bring it back.
Well, when he said clean coal, that's what you had me, my man. When he said clean coal, I go, really? Are we the canary? Like,
even the coal people were like, huh?
Clean coal.
Like,
they go, are we washing it? What is it? What are we doing here?
Yeah. Oh my God. Lord help us. I think we might be past that. So what else? Eliminate EPA. Oh, number 8, education. Promote school choice and charter schools.
Just look at Oklahoma.
Translation. They want to make money off your children at school. They don't want to put money into the education. They want to charge you money.
They want to take money and put into charger. That is absolutely correct.
Return education policy to the states. Yeah, every time I read return something to the states, I'm just like, there was a reason that it was taken from the states in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
And you're reminding us of why we needed federal protections to save us from red states, because you guys are freaking lunatics.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
we're going to be reaching out to actually somebody who is in the education department, and Denise, as I call her, D-Nice. I've been talking to her on the phone. I'm like, okay, you're going to have to come on and talk with Ryan. And she's like, I can do that. I can definitely talk to you about.
We have a lot of people lined up. Matter of fact, before I forget, Plastic Martyr is a friend of ours, and she's going to be coming on the show. She actually lives in the area where all the fires have been, but her and her boyfriend got out safe, and
good.
And I think her house is okay so far. But like, she's like, the people around, like houses literally around her, like have burned down. So
yeah,
you know, just glad that she's safe. But she's going to be coming on the show. We're going to do a great show talking about transgender issues and rights. It's going to be just a positive show with facts and love, and looking forward to that. We have a constitutional scholar that will be coming on the show. I'm actually going to try to get him for the 20th so that we can, you know, talk about that at the time. Who else we got coming on? And then, of course, give a shout out to Christian Ortiz, who is one of the sponsors of our podcast with
CO.
Justice AI.
That's right.
He's doing big things. So just go Google Justice AI.
And you got Sarah.
Yep. And we have Sarah Higginbotham coming back on.
Yep.
We did a great episode with her on abortion rights and
repo vote.
But now she's going to come on. She did a lot of lobbying for ranked choice voting. And I think a lot of us can agree after this election that we need to figure something out. We need to reform our elections. And I personally think that ranked choice voting is probably the best option for us, because I don't think we're going to get to 4 or 5 viable political parties anytime in the near future. So we're going to have her on to talk about that. So we have a lot of great shows coming up, a lot of great people coming on. We have Sadia. Sadia is going to come on. We're going to do a mental health episode, because I actually ended up like blocking her on everything for like 6 months.
Okay.
And like out of nowhere. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. I want her to kind of tell her side and how that made her feel. And then also tie it to what was actually going on and kind of try to paint that picture for y'all, because I think the interaction isn't special. And I kind of learned that talking to her about it a little bit. You know, she's like, you aren't the first one. And that kind of surprised me. So yeah, she's had, this happened to her a couple times.
So she's the issue. So we're going to talk about it.
No, she is not the issue. No, Sadia is amazing.
No.
Yeah, so no, they're like
built up for 2025.
We got a lot. And yeah. I'm really excited for where the show's going. And it's all because of you all. We got about 1,000 people watching right now. We got another 20, 30 on TikTok. Not bad for our first time streaming on there.
Haven't gotten kicked off yet. Boom.
Hey, doing better.
Like, subscribe. Definitely check us out. Hit that notification button, guys.
Yes, please.
We're
it
here
all
every
helps.
Friday, starting at 8. And we're usually late. So, hey.
Yeah,
8:08.
give it 10 minutes. If we're not 10 minutes after, then something might be wrong.
It's Friday. We got things to do. All right. We'll see you at 8. That's
what else was I going to say? Oh, congratulations to you, sir. Our podcast is now officially downloaded on every continent.
Yo, fist bump.
So congratulations, sir.
There you go.
So again, thank you to everybody. And we see everybody watching from different countries. We have quite a few in the UK. Centerville, Tennessee is still our biggest city. So shout out to Centerville, Tennessee.
What up, Centerville?
Yeah, we love y'all. But yeah, guys, I know the election has been tough, especially for most of the people watching us. But I really am taking, positive energy from what we have coming on the show and what we want the show to be, which is, we're still going to have the Ryan rants. We're still going to have fun, but moving forward for the next 4 years, one of the staples is going to have to be factual information. And whether people want to hear that factual information or not, that's up to them. But what's up to us is the brand that we want to create and the part that we want to bring to the equation, which is we don't want to be part of the problem all the time. Sometimes you have to be part of the problem, but we also want to be a big part of the education side of it and getting us to the other side of this, because the one thing I know a lot of us do agree on is at some point we are going to have to put our swords down and figure this out. I don't know when that point's going to be, but I look forward to being part of the reason that we finally get there. And I think Ian probably feels that way too. So
I'm just here for the good fun, the good trouble. I just want to kick over a couple rocks and then let's just see what happens.
Let's just see what happens, baby.
Let's just see what happens. No, I think it really is. I think there is a part where we need to reunite, but I know we have to get over this hump. And this is the thing. Yeah. It could feel really the stress, the pressure of this moment right now could be very crushing, soul crushing.
Yeah.
And we have to understand that. Think about how they felt during the Civil War. Think about how they felt during the Revolutionary War. Think about how they felt when they started building this country. Yeah. The pressure that they felt and how they had to mobilize and move forward and how young they were, because they only lived about 35. Let's be serious.
Yeah.
So they really had all that weight on their shoulders when they really put this together. This is just an experiment. What America is. In 2 years, we'll be 250. Let that sink in. A lot of empires fall after 250.
Still can't believe 250 years is going to be why he's in office. Swearing him in on Martin Luther King Day, but
at least the flags will be half mast.
Yep.
And small victories.
And by the way, Jasmine Crockett has said she will not be attending the swearing in of Donald Trump on Martin Luther King Day, and I fully support that.
Good. Hey, she should be taking that day off, just like Juneteenth.
Kamala too, baby. Kamala should be at home with her Chuck Taylors
We do
kicked
not
up on the
deserve her,
table.
man. We do not deserve her.
No, we don't.
So it is what it is. But we went through a number of his fails for that part of his resume, being 2016.
Yeah,
what else is on that list?
Let's go through it real quick. So the 2020 campaign promises were number one, economy. Continue reducing taxes and regulations to stimulate economic growth. And again, what he's done is he took the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%. So it's now it's sitting at 21%. Now he is
15.
Yeah, he's floating, taking it from 21% down to 15%. Now that's the corporate tax rate. Now, so what that means is Donald Trump is playing the trickle down economics policy making again.
That's right.
Is, oh, well, if we don't charge the corporations any taxes, they're going to use that money and spend it on the workforce, which we all know that isn't the case. They don't even like unions, let alone spending their extra money on their workforce.
That's right.
If that was the case, minimum wage wouldn't be $7.75 or whatever it is, and we wouldn't have to pry money out of their cold, dead hands. So again, that doesn't work in my book. Create 10 million new jobs in 10 months. I'd love to see that. Bring back
day one.
I mean,
this guy.
I mean, let me see.
On day one. We'll see.
We're averaging around 200 to 250 every 3 months right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, he ain't coming close to 10 million new jobs in 10 months. I don't even think Clinton could have done that at his peak. Bring back jobs from China. Yeah, good luck.
Let's start with the mega merchandise.
Yep. Let's start with Elon Musk. Let's get Jeff Bezos. Let's get pledges from these guys. They shouldn't be selling anything from China.
We did get some pledges. They said more HB1V. More HB.
Number 2, immigration. Complete 450 miles of the border wall. End chain migration and the visa lottery program. So I guess the H-1B isn't a lottery program.
Man.
And by the way, Elon Musk was an illegal because he overstayed a visa. So
he didn't even actually use his visa for what it was for. He was supposed to be a student.
Yep, he was working.
So that's called an illegal alien from you conservatives. That's what you would call that.
Number 3, healthcare, lower prescription drug prices. No, he did not do that. And if you want to mention the deal he did for insulin, that was with one company.
Yeah.
Joe Biden got it done for all. So insulin is now capped at $35 because of Joe Biden, not Trump. Trump only did it with one company. Again, go Google it. Don't just take my word for it. Protect pre-existing conditions. That's a freaking lie. They do not want to protect people like me. For those who don't know, I have Lynch syndrome. It's a pre-existing condition. Up until 2011, I used to have to hide it from medical doctors and lie to get checkups done because I was so young. But I knew I had to get the checkups, and I ended up having my colon taken out at 38. So if I didn't have insurance and they wouldn't have allowed me to get those checkups, I'd probably be dead right now. So that's why I care about this type of stuff, because I know that there are people out there that aren't as lucky as me and fortunate enough to have the health insurance that I do. And because of that, they're very likely going to die or have a much shorter life. Oh. And that upsets me because it shouldn't be happening. And there are so many lives that could be saved if we just stopped being so greedy. And that's why it upsets me. Replace Obamacare with a new. This was in 2020, by the way. After they tried twice in 2016, was still saying he was going to replace Obamacare. COVID-19 response: distribute a COVID-19 vaccine quickly, reopen the economy while protecting vulnerable populations. National security and defense: withdraw U.S. troops from endless wars.
And we do want to give him credit. 2020, warp speed. He got the vaccine done. Got the vaccine done.
And I also want to give him credit for Afghanistan. He made that deal, set the timeline, and had zero plan to get it done. And then just handed concepts of a plan. And then handed it off to Biden.
Okay.
So just want to remind everybody of that. Maintain a strong stance against China. Wasn't this dude just shaking hands with China like the other day, saying thank you for spending billions of dollars in my economy. Wasn't he just saying that?
SoftBank. Here we
Okay,
go.
I'm just asking questions. Number 6, energy. Continue promoting U.S. energy independence. Oppose the Green New Deal. Yeah, again, I just think you all are totally dense. And again, even Elon Musk, like you're literally supporting the party that doesn't want to help you build infrastructure.
Yeah.
Make that make sense.
Yeah.
And then you want to complain about the infrastructure. Hey, how about you open up your pocketbook and start participating? Maybe we'd be able to do a little better here.
Welfare queens. Those are the real ones.
Telling you, you take Elon's money from the government away and he'd be crying. Law and order, increase funding for police departments. Unfortunately, that was done under Joe Biden's Make America Better plan, I think was the name of it. And
Build Back Better?
Build Back Better plan. Thank you. And they,
I was like,
sorry,
they'll be making nothing.
I'm making shit up. Yeah. But no, it was part of that. So they actually, they actually funded quite a bit of law enforcement.
Yes, they did.
Implement strict penalties for rioters and looters.
This is my diss to Biden. We're like, Black Lives Matter. He goes, yes, more money for cops. We're like, whoa. What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't think you heard that right, Joe.
Wait a minute, Joe. Wake up. but we understand.
So, and again, these are from his 2020 campaign.
Yes.
Space exploration. Establish a permanent presence on the moon and aim for a manned mission to Mars. I don't know about you guys. If we can't feed people here and clothe kids and house veterans and so on and so forth, provide healthcare, I don't care about the moon, and I really don't care about Mars. We can't even take care of this planet, and we want to go start hopping on moons and other planets.
I think your progressive agenda is way too much. It's way too expensive. Okay, why do we care for veterans? Why do we care for the homeless? Why do we care for children?
We'll just build a whole new colony
Space
on Mars.
Station. That's what we want. Yes. Give me my health care.
Judiciary, appoint additional conservative judges. Yep.
Did it.
They're going to do that.
Yeah.
Now, here is his 2024. Now, these are the ones we want to pay attention to.
Current events, ladies and gentlemen.
These are the ones we expect him to deliver on, right? So 2024
2025 to deliver on. So let's go.
Fair correction. Donald Trump outlined several key promises across various policy areas. Immigration, mass deportation. Trump pledged to deport over 13 million immigrants residing in the U.S. illegally. Border security. Yes.
With the deportation, do you think it's actually going to be deportation, or is it actually going to be detention centers and getting free labor out of illegal immigrants?
The last part. Yeah, they'll find a way. They're either going to find a way to make money off of them for them being in the detention center, or they're gonna find a way to turn them into labor force. Have to watch my words.
I don't think anybody's getting deported.
No. Well, anybody that isn't able to work or whatever.
Working able. That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and if you want to compare it to anything, it's kind of like, back in the German days, if you weren't any good, you were one of the first to walk into the oven.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same mentality, y'all. Hate to break it to you.
We're seeing something really interesting happen right now, but this is we're about to see modern day slavery, and I hope all those. But this is going to be now a whole. I mean, yes.
You're right. It'll be on a whole.
But this is going to be a whole nother level where we're talking about separating families and kicking out grandmas.
Yep.
And grandpas who can't do the work, like you said.
Somebody on TikTok said they'll do both. They'll make money off the detainment and the labor.
Yeah. They're going to make money on both sides.
They're going to make money off kids going to school. They're going to make money off the prisons. They're going to make money off the immigrants, the detention centers, the labor. Like, I wish more people understood this.
And they're going to sell it to you like a Leave It to Beaver commercial.
Yep. This is the way it's supposed to be.
Because of this, you have the life you wanted.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling you.
Got to have somebody to look down on.
Everything. It's going to happen.
Okay.
Get ready.
So that was border security, economy, tax cuts. Trump proposed further tax reductions for individuals and businesses to stimulate economic growth. Tariffs. He suggested imposing tariffs on countries engaging in unfair trade practices to protect American industries. Spending cuts. Trump indicated plans to reduce government spending to address the national debt. Just a reminder, Trump added $8.1 trillion to our national debt in 4 years. Biden added 4.6. So,
and if you do half of both of those, half of it was COVID for both.
Yep.
So Trump was 4.8. That was just without COVID.
Without COVID.
And Biden was 2.
So that again, that's just one of the things when I hear people like, oh, he's good for bit. No, he's not. He didn't balance the budget like he said the first time.
No.
Like he didn't even come close to balancing the budget. He blew our deficit out of the water, and that was before COVID. So
and that was just his taxes.
Which
we're still under his tax plan.
Well, it's just like, the people that they're like, oh, well, he's not taking a paycheck. And it's like, no, because he has 500 shell accounts that are all taking money from foreign nationals. You think he gives a shit about your $400,000?
They're staying at his hotel.
Yeah.
People
don't understand.
Americans are being taxed. Okay. You're paying for Secret Service to stay at his hotel, and they're not paying a friend discount.
Nope.
They're playing.
He's charging them like 200% more.
Yes.
And again, Google it. That's in
$1,200 that he's charging for Secret Service per person.
And that's in court documents or Congress documents.
Go look it up.
Yep.
Your tax dollars are going towards this.
Yep. It's crazy.
So yes, he's not taking $1. No, he's robbing your pocket.
No, he's robbing you blind is what he's doing. Here, look over here.
You are now naked and afraid, my friend. That's what's happening right now. America, survival. Like, you know what's happening? The rest of the world is watching us like we're naked and afraid. That's what's about to happen.
Yeah.
They're really tuning in. What's happening on America this episode? It's going to be
we are the reality TV for the rest of the world right now.
Yes, we are. Yeah. Yes, we are. Here we go.
So, foreign policy, Ukraine-Russia conflict. Trump expressed intentions to negotiate an end to the war in Ukraine, aiming for a peaceful resolution. Yeah, good luck with that. Considering Putin's got his hand up his butt. Healthcare, Obamacare. For the third time now, he's promising to repeal Obamacare. He reiterated his promise to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act with the new healthcare plan. Drug prices, Trump pledged again to lower prescription drug prices. Why didn't he do it the first 4 years? Just wondering. Energy and environment, energy independence. He aimed to expand domestic energy production, including oil, natural gas, and coal. Again, if you go look at what we're exporting, we're actually exporting more than we were under him. Environmental regulations. Trump proposed rolling back regulations once again that he views as hindering economic growth. Yeah, but hindering economic growth and being healthy for citizens. Let's focus on what matters. Education, school choice. Once again, he's advocated for increased funding for school choice programs, allowing parents to select the best educational options for their children. Yeah, best educational options for your children as long as they're in the right area and are accepted to said school.
As long as they have the right tax bracket.
Exactly. Right. Law and order, crime reduction. Trump promised to implement policies aimed at reducing crime and supporting law enforcement agencies. Isn't this the same guy that sent like a crowd of people to beat up a bunch of police officers and then didn't care?
All I'm saying is 34 is a new 70. 34 is a new 47. That's all I'm saying.
Shout out to Harry Dunn. I talk to him every once in a while on social media. Good guy. I think y'all messed up not sending him to Congress.
No.
But hey, that's another story. So these promises reflect the key policies that Trump has emphasized through his 2024 campaign. And then, of course, the no tips for no taxes on tips. And what's the other thing he promised?
Overtime. Now, here's the thing that's interesting about that. How do you pay taxes on something that doesn't exist anymore?
What do you mean?
People are cutting people's overtime. They're
trying to get he wants to get rid of overtime.
But that's my point. He said he's not going to be taxing overtime. So people are like, oh, okay, he's not going to tax my overtime. And that's them thinking they're going to still have the same overtime going into 2025. But the game is you cut overtime. So therefore, I never said that we were going to have overtime. I just said we're never going to pay taxes on it.
Again, I just I would
It's a
really,
word salad. It's all
I would
BS.
really like to somebody to explain to me how cutting taxes for everything is going to decrease our deficit. Like
Tariffs.
I actually
Aren't
have a
you paying attention, Ryan? Tariffs.
I actually am paying attention, and that's why I know that the tariffs for the first 4 years under Donald Trump only added about 400 billion to our deficit. Now, if you go look at Joe Biden, he's passed 3 different legislations that have added over 2 trillion back into our deficit. So Joe Biden literally added 4 times the amount of money back
Yeah.
into the debt using not only tariffs but also 2 different legislations.
Yeah.
So again, Google it, go look it up. So I don't understand how Donald Trump thinks that all these tariffs are going to make up all this lost income. If you decrease the corporate tax rate from 21 to 15%, you stop taking taxes on tip, you stop taking taxes on overtime, where are you going to find this freaking money from, dude? Like, tariffs isn't going to replace all that. It just isn't.
And the proposed taxes that are going to be there, we're talking about 80% of taxpayers are paying the bill, or I should say 90, because there's only 10% that are making billions.
See, and they used to do this, and they had to pass laws to stop them from doing this. So overtime will be based on monthly hours, thereby by allowing employers to balance your hours over 4 weeks instead of basing it off of just 1 week.
Right.
See, and that's both that, and that's why I started my own business. I don't want to work for anybody. I don't want to be beholden to anybody because they just abuse their workforce and they don't care. And I learned when I had to have my back surgery, like they will fire you and find somebody the next day. Like they do not care. They have zero loyalty to you. And it's like, and they expect all this like thanks and loyalty and thank you for my job making, crumbs while you're making $500 an hour off of me. Thank you so much. It's like they expect it. Like, no, if you want respect from me, treat me well. Give me good benefits. More importantly, if you want to keep me around, provide me a potential retirement plan. Like a lot of corporations used to do back in the day. How many companies provide retirement plans now?
There's
pensions. How many of you guys out there have work for a company right now that's going to provide you a pension?
They even said that the 401 is was a lie, the way that it was built, what it came out of, because people weren't doing the pension aspect. There's no actual security.
Nope.
But that's why we have especially more in our generation where we do the quiet quitting, where it's like, I'm out. I'm either pay me or I'm going to just do whatever you're paying me for. And there is no like, how do I go up this ladder? I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And I'll just go to another job. Now, granted, it depends on what the market is right now, but y'all get ready for Gen Z. They do not care. They do not care. So depending on how they feel today, they may show up to your job.
Oh, yeah.
Get ready.
Yeah, but nowadays you won't know if they're a Trump supporter or a liberal. So the last thing I want to touch on, just because it makes me feel good. Rudy Giuliani was found in contempt of court this week. Not once, but
Talk
twice.
Talk about a fall from grace, man.
Bro.
America's mayor
on September 11th to...
You know what I'm saying? He looks like Count Chocula, like he had with all that streak of dye down his face.
So bad. But I mean, just not even the physical looks and all that stuff, but just bro, like, were you always this guy? Because if you were, holy crap.
Yes.
Like you pulled it over on all of us.
Yes. This is where time reveals all. You know what I mean? Kind of situation. And if you actually go back and listen to Biggie back in the day, like he talks about Rudy and like how much he sucks, so you hear it from the street politics. You're like, okay, this is who this person was. But yes, Rudy, come on now. Strike 2, contempt of court.
Yep.
For not paying the women that he literally, the defamation case, get out of here.
It's like, how much more money do you want to owe these people?
Bro,
like they already have your homes and shit. Like
I already feel like DJ Khaled. And another one.
Yeah, like he keeps it up, like they're gonna get his estate tax after he dies.
Bro.
If he keeps it up.
Bro. I mean, does he even have it at this point?
Not anymore.
You know what I mean?
He didn't have no 118 million, and he doesn't have enough powerful friends to pay that for him.
No.
But with that, heading into
and Trump really did let him like left him high and dry. Like, he really was like, bye, Rudy.
I have a feeling he'll probably bring him back into the circle here soon. I'm going to make that prediction.
He never snitched.
He never snitched, exactly. Nope. So he can trust snitched. Him. So before we get to our positives for the week, I wanted to remind everybody where the economy kind of is right now on our way out the door.
Yeah.
And as Biden gets ready to deliver his farewell speech on the 15th, I think it's worth noting that, that hiring blew past expectations once again, with 256,000 plus jobs added. The unemployment rate went down to 4.1%. So these were December numbers. So
this was Joe Biden, man. This is really, just keep it up real quick. Just keep that. This is Joe Biden, literally his resume. He pulled us out of a global pandemic and got this country to work.
Yeah.
And the thing that I got to give him his flowers, he's not going to see the fruit of all his labor. A lot of this is going to start in 2027. You're going to start seeing some of his policies actually in full effect. And this is the thing. Be ready, because Trump's going to take credit for it. And he did none of the heavy lifting.
None.
He takes no credit for what happened with this country leading into a global pandemic, protecting us, or anything. A lot of conversation about injecting bleach, drinking bleach, whatever the case was. He never had a full grasp of the severity of the situation.
Nope.
Biden pulled us out, regardless of however it ended with him. Oh. He got us to this point.
Yep.
And that shows right there, that last bit. And even Fox News had to give him credit, because they're like, this is beating expectations. And there we are.
Again, if you look at the deficit, you look at what he's, how he was able to decrease it. You literally can't say that his administration wasn't doing a good job. And that's the part that just boggles my mind. And you said it a lot during the first season. You're like, I don't care what he sounds like in front of the microphone, because behind closed doors, he's getting the job done. And
we know he has a stutter. We know he has this. This is documented.
Yeah, and of course, it made sense to me that as he's getting older, that the stutter would probably start to come back a little bit.
Yeah.
But all that aside, a squeaky chair should have beat Donald Trump. So I will never, for the remainder of my life, understand how 77 million people thought that a prolific business fraud and a felon and an adjudicated sexual abuser would be a good choice to run this country, and a better choice than a person like Kamala Harris with the resume that she had. We expect the Democrats to not run a great campaign, but that momentum that we saw was real. I don't know what happened voting day, but you can't fake that momentum that she had. So, I will forever wonder what the heck happened. But all we can do now is
hope for one of these conspiracy theories.
Honestly, I just feel like all we can really do right now is just play the hand we've been dealt. And
we are the opposition, and that was the first thing I said to you. We are the opposition now.
Yep.
We are on our Viva Vendetta, and this is the reality. That's the position we have to play.
Yep.
And I really do think, and I have to thank you, Ryan, because your Ryan rants are very important, not only to this show, but for a lot of us out there, because your passion speaks volumes. And I told you that if it was going to be 4 years of Trump, 2 with the current situation of him having Congress, House and Senate, and this show is going to be very important, because how many people are out there searching for actual news from genuine, real people, because we know that corporate media has failed us.
Yep.
And we saw how quickly, like Joe and Mika ran to go kiss the ring.
Yep.
And it's interesting to see them now where they're trying to play both sides, and it's like, nah, you ran to the ring. it's over.
There's a lot of us that aren't gonna. We're not gonna allow the two side thing. Like I said, at some point we're gonna have to put our swords down, but it ain't right now.
No, and we're not even interested.
Not right now.
And the thing that I do love about your passion is that you're ready to fight fire with fire, and you're not apologetic for it. Me, I try to be a little bit more moderate for the two of us. But we know I lean left. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. The conversations I have with my conservative friends, which, like I said, they are yearning to have a conversation with me because they're not getting it anywhere else. Anywhere. No one messes with them.
Just send them links to the show every Friday.
They watch the show, and I know they hate watch us. And hi guys,
I love the hate watchers
because
we love
you. One of the things is they said that I'm delusional and that I have a bad case of judgment because of how I see Biden. For what exactly you said, the fact that I'm just like, what 80-year-old's mind isn't slipping? But you know what? When he's there in a room, he's getting the job done. And the reason why I can say that is even if he doesn't know how to do it, he's getting the right people in the room with him to make sure the job is done properly. Yep. I go, no one's sitting here talking about Gulf of America. Why?
And by the way, Donald Trump is 78 years old and not in good shape.
No.
Like, I don't care what his doctor comes out and says. That dude's cholesterol is high as hell.
You ain't lying to nobody. And the amount of stress that he was just under, I wouldn't be surprised if my man kicks the can after he gets sworn in, because it's all. Nah, I'm not even wishing that on anybody. I'm just saying.
I'm just hoping for natural causes.
JD is right behind him. Right behind him. I'm just saying.
I'm just hoping for natural causes, bro.
No, because JD is also dangerous, and he's dangerous the way Joe Biden.
Fucking dangerous.
No, I'm saying.
But JD doesn't have Trump's anything. Doesn't have his charisma. He doesn't have his brand. He's not untouchable like Trump.
He's as fun as Ron DeSantis. And here's the thing: when I sit there and I see Trump, it's the moment that all that pressure is off him now. That that's when things start to happen. When they say that's when you get sick, right?
Once your body releases, that's when it actually.
Once that release, it's like, okay. And ain't no release coming from Melania. So the reality is that, the pressure is there. Okay? The pressure is there. But what I'm seeing more now is that how important this kind of show is going to be, because we're going to have to be speaking truth to power.
Yeah.
And that's why I love that I'm going to war with you on this.
Yeah, man. No, I agree. And like I said, I'm so glad we started the show when we did, because we have a year of, a non-Trump presidency. not that too. Nice to see nothing's changed either.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah, nothing's changed in season 2. Still no producer, still screwing things up. So, but no, I'm glad we had that, and we're able to, because I think it made us both start focusing on what was going on in a different way, because we were prepping the show every week, and we're trying to pick out, okay, what are we going to talk about? We can't talk about everything that happened this week. So it's like just the process of us cutting things out and whatever, and streamlining our stuff is just, I think, helped both of us just kind of look at things better, research better. We realized pretty early on that we hated getting caught like with a bad source or bad information, 100%. So we've gotten, over the last year, we've gotten really good at fixing that. And I'm glad that we got that out of the way, and really have what we're doing set up going into this. You say 2 years, I'm saying 4, but maybe we'll just call it 3.
I'm only saying 2. I'm only saying 2 as in the current situation because of midterms. That's the only reason why I think 2.
But yeah, no, it's I'm guessing my surgeon is here. Okay. But no, perfect timing. So give me your positives. Give me your positive for the week.
The positive is just like the Detroit Lions. All right. I'm loving this bye week. This is the week that we are just kind of just moving a little bit slower, just taking our time, just looking around.
I want to buy Dan Campbell a drink.
Yep, I hope you can.
I want to buy him a drink.
He likes a good Starbucks. All right, so you better get him a good coffee.
Hey, I gotta say, we can go have a coffee. I'm good with that.
No, I've really just been enjoying, because that's been my escape, has been that. That and dealing with the principal's office with my kid. That's my positive. A 3-year-old is okay. Let me tell you, he's a troublemaker. Oh, he's just He is Sherman. It comes with a name. Okay. That's all I can tell you. These baby kids. All right. They baby kids. He is testing the system. He is learning his independence. This is my positive. I'm loving watching my son grow and becoming the young man that he is, because I already know who he is. And it's great to see him excelling. It's great to see him really piece things together. It's adorable to watch him curse, and curse correctly. And curse, I have to say, when your older son and you watch this, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
You're using language that it took me a while to get together. You're doing phenomenally well. Okay.
Yeah.
Proud 3-year-old telling someone to go themselves. Really proud.
Oh,
really proud. So, I don't know if that little girl deserved it, but you know what?
Oh, God.
You are Sherman. So, I guess it's in our blood. It's in our blood.
Oh, God.
So
it kept getting worse.
This is,
I don't know if the little girl, like as soon as you said, oh, God.
This is what I will say. All right, he learned it from his mama. All right, because she curses like a sailor. So I'm just glad it didn't come from dad. That's all I gotta say.
I'll tell one quick story before my positive. So Dominic was playing video game with me the other day.
Okay.
And we're playing and he's getting chased down. And all of a sudden I hear, fuck, 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 fuck. And I was like, I'm like, just in my headset. And I was like, son, what are you saying? He's like, nothing. And then I go, no. What were you saying? He was like, duck, 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 duck. He's like, I thought somebody was shooting at you. I go, that wasn't what you were saying. He's like, I tried.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry.
I was like, it took him like not even 2 seconds to come up with the duck, duck, duck. I was pretty proud of that one. I was like,
how did I know though? See, this is why I know I'm an adolescent. I'm an adolescent.
That was good, kid. I'll give you that one.
Oh, that's so good.
I was like, if you want to keep playing these games, though, you better stop. Your mom's gonna throw that in the trash.
I had to say to my little 3-year-old, I go, repeat after me. Happy mom, happy home.
I'm telling you.
I go right now. Mom is not happy with either of us.
Yeah, okay? We're both in trouble. So
I'm gonna need you to wrap whatever this is up. Let's go.
I told Dominic, I said, unless you want me sleeping in that bed with you, I said, you better bring it down a notch because you're about to get us both in trouble.
Right. So proud dad son moment. That's all I gotta say.
So my positive, because it's kind of funny. So as you heard my dogs freaking out a second ago, my sister-in-law is amazing, and I have what I can only describe as one of the most painful things ever happening right now. So I have what I can only describe as like a cyst that is the size of like 2 decent sized marbles right on my tailbone. Yeah. So if you've watched the whole show, you've probably seen me try to adjust and you've seen my face. That's why. The amount of pain I'm in right now. And I even had a pain pill and I'm still dying.
Right.
So I text my sister-in-law and she happens to be a surgeon. And I said, hey, I'm really trying to avoid going to the ER, both for the wait and the money. Is there any chance that I could come by your office and you could, relieve this pressure? And she's like, well, I really wasn't trying to stay late tonight, and you got the podcast. She's like, how about I just come over and just do it there? And I was like, okay. I was like, I was trying to, make it convenient for you, but yeah, like that's cool. So she just showed up. So I'm going to go get a little surgery done, and then the other positive, the real positive is, so I got tickets to go to a monster truck rally here in Tucson.
That's dope.
So we're going to be going to that this weekend. And I bought like the big ticket that allows him to go down in the pit. And it's going to let us both.
Does he know the extent of
he's never been to one. So I don't, my dad used to take me back when they were at the Silver Dome. So I was like, but he got a bunch of monster trucks for Christmas. So I said, well, let's go see the real ones. So the ticket includes a ride in one. So I've been prepping him. I'm like, hey, don't be scared. Like you're going to get to ride in one. So be ready. So like I've been prepping him so he doesn't get scared and like, he's excited to get in it. So I'm excited to do that. And
that's gonna be amazing.
Jen and Liv are gonna they bought tickets, I think, to Moana 2.
Okay.
So they're gonna go to the we found one of those theaters that does like the dinner while you're there with the nice reclining chairs.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go there and do lunch while we're doing that. So
Oh man, I love that. I love that. I'll definitely
Yep.
be reaching out to you guys to hear how everything went,
Oh
especially
yeah.
with Moana, because my son loves Moana, so I already know how
Yeah.
that goes. So it's
Yeah.
game on. It is
Yeah,
game
man.
on. Well, that
So
sounds great, man. You guys, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. As you know, every Friday we're gonna have a couple special episodes this month because we have a couple things happening. As we know,
yep.
January 20th is, I believe, on a Monday, so
Yes,
the
we will be here
inauguration,
January 20th. Yep.
and then we'll be right back on a Friday. So we have we'll see you. That's not next week. No, that's in 2 weeks. The 20th.
Yeah, I think so. It's
20th is
the
on two
second
weeks.
week. So not next week, but the next week.
So we'll be doing a
So
special
you're
on
gonna see us
Monday.
like 5 or 6 times this month. We're gonna be on quite a bit
So
this month.
it's happening. It's going
Yep.
down. Back here
And
on Hold the Mic.
yeah, and I just again thank you to everybody who's downloading the podcast. I think most of them are coming off of Apple Podcast, but we're on Spotify, iHeart, all of them. Like I said, when I pulled up the stats the other day, and I saw that we were being downloaded on every continent now. Just from our side, that's pretty freaking cool.
Absolutely.
Knowing that our podcast is like not just one download, but people are literally downloading the podcasts, in other countries and listening to
And
what
returning
and
to
coming back.
download. That's
So,
right. That's
so
right.
for all of you different countries, Canada, Australia, there's 28 of you different countries that we're in. So, we see you and we really
Couldn't
do
do this without
appreciate.
you guys.
No, and I really love the insight that I get from the few that interact with us that are able to kind of tell us how we're being viewed, in Ireland and other places, because it's just kind of insight that we wouldn't have any other way. So we don't take that for granted. We don't take you for granted. Like Ian said, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you go download, copy the podcast, send it to your friends in a text, in an email. I don't care. But
And send it to one of your haters. Just
Yes, send it to your
try it
haters. Say, here, go to 40 minutes in and listen to this guy lose his mind. And yeah,
He's talking to you. That's what
yeah, exactly. He was
Ryan
literally
Rant is
talking to
about
you.
you.
But no, thank you so much. Like I said, heading into the new year with all of you standing with us, like Ian said, I think we're going into this next season with the mindset of building more of a community and more of a movement than just a podcast. So with that, I'll leave you as I always do with much love, keep fighting, and most importantly, stay safe out there, especially if you're in California.